Howdy banger fans, Blaine Smith bringing you another episode of Overkill Reviews Quarantine Edition from the comfort of my own home. Yes, Overkill Reviews, it's Banger's weekly metal review show. As always, if you like us, you can support us by, liking the video, or commenting, subscribing, and if you really like us, you can head over to Patreon and give us a couple bucks every month to keep this ship afloat, or you can head over to our merch store, buy some shirts or posters or patches or pins or whatever. And then if you like me, you can head over to twitch.tv/metalcomedy, where we talk about metal and play video games and listen to metal. Wednesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays. Cool, sweet. On to the music, because that's fun too, listening to and talking about metal. Let's do it. And what? We're gonna listen to power metal and review power metal this week? Banger never reviews power metal. Well, I gotta hear it to believe it. Let's take a listen. Would you look at that? That is absolutely some power metal. It's Judicator's album, Let There Be Nothing, out July 24th on Prosthetic Records. Hey, power metal, wow, what? Okay. So let's talk about the power metal, but first we have to talk about the power metalers in Judicator. They are a power metal band out of the United States of America. Gasp, I know. This is really great. According to their Wikipedia page, Judicator was formed in 2012 after guitarist-songwriter Tony Cordisco and vocalist-lyricist John Yelland met at a Blind Guardian concert. Oh, isn't that sweet? I think that's the bio for how literally every power metal band ever formed. I'm pretty sure that's how Hansi Kirsch and Andre Ulbrich formed Blind Guardian, was at a Blind Guardian concert. This album also features Jordan Elsass on drums and Michael Sanchez on bass and guitars. I'm just going down to reading names directly off the page in front of my face now because I mess it up every time. I hate names. What is surprising about this album is it's their fifth album in such a short period of time. That's only eight years to crank out 5 albums. Come on, that's pretty good. What's better than pretty good is their average score of the first 4 on Metal Archives is 91.75. I know it's Metal Archives, but metal nerds tend to be angry and mean. So if even they're putting up with it, that means it's got to be pretty good, right? So let's take a look at this one and see, hey, is this band keeping up their GPA score, or are they going to have to start applying to some safety schools? As I said, this is a concept album, so it gets better the more you listen to it. You're kind of meant to listen to the whole thing. But by starting with 2 really strong tracks, it just ensures that you're going to put this album on over and over again to kind of get into it and enjoy that whole concept thing. It's a great way to kick off an album. It worked really well. It worked on me. This isn't a Power Quest type group where you're coming in for a couple songs. You're here for the whole kit and caboodle, and it's a real caboodle. The real kind of magic formula is I was mentioning earlier that John's lyrics are fairly complex and, not a lot of repetition to go with. But something about Tony's riffs that he writes, they really kind of mesh fairly harmoniously. They blend really well, and the riffs deliver the music very well, and the lyrics deliver the riffs as well. It's a harmonious marriage that worked great. That's not to say that there isn't some kind of more traditionally power metal fare. Gloria is a 6-minute romp, soaring guitars, guest female vocals. It's as if the band is saying, hey, just because we made a concept album with some 9-minute tracks to kick things off doesn't mean we can't just come out and rock you. Boom, we do it all, baby, showing off. So we're this far into the review and I haven't mentioned the drums. It's not because the drums are bad. It's not because the drumming's bad. It's absolutely not. There's a lot of cool bass work that I really like. It's not sustained blasts like sometimes some power metal bands will do. It's kind of shorter bursts, with some pauses between it. I find that can kind of add more to it than just kind of going fast all the time. Those little breaks make that kind of more exciting, and you know, a sustained blast throughout I find can sometimes just give me a little fatigue, and then it doesn't really have any impact anymore. It's just that it's just a metronome in the background. What I can say about the drums, the reason I didn't talk about them until now, is they're my segue to the bad, because oh boy, they sound bad, kind of like the whole album sounds bad. From what I understand, the band is scattered across those big old states, and everything was kind of recorded and mixed and mastered separately, and it doesn't really come together, and it's a big old mess. Which sucks. It's the biggest detractor on the album. It's not bad enough that I disdain the kingdoms of whoever's responsible for this, but it is bad enough that it is the most glaring flaw on the album, and yeah, that's a bummer, because it's really the thing standing in the way from this being a truly amazing top of the mountain kind of thing. The other problem is more minor. It's something I'm always going to complain about with power metal bands, is when they slow down. Why do you slow down? A power metal band slowing down is like driving a manual sports car in bumper-to-bumper city traffic. It's just like everything that's great about this experience is gone, and it accentuates what's dumb about it. The third track, the first 2 tracks really kick things off, and then the third track, the first like 3 minutes of it are slow, and some things just don't land when they're slow. A line like there is no one for me to kill or execute, slow kind of sounds a little dumb. Fast, I probably would have been like arr. But yeah, it comes off a little cheesy when you slow it down and take a hard look at it. I don't know. I'm always going to complain about this with power metal. If you like slow parts of power metal, then cool. There's a slow part here for you. Luckily, it is the first 3 minutes of a long song, and the end of the song is wicked, and I like the end of the song, which is kind of good and kind of bad, because I have to listen to this part of the song. I don't like to get to it, but, hey, in every life, some rain must fall, I guess. Yeah, the song rages full on.
Phrasing?
At the end, so, hey, there's not too much slow. Just let's get rid of the slow altogether. We don't like slow music unless it's like really slow and the whole thing's slow, and then I'm on board. Wrap up time. So, despite what I've said negative, I feel like, you should be able to tell that the positives definitely outweigh that. So I'm happy to say that 2019, I got Dialith and Twilight Force added to my rotation, and now the new Judicator is also added to that small but mighty and much beloved power metal rotation. I think they tweaked their sound a little bit to be more heavy, and I think it really paid off and was really cool. Had great effects. We have more heavy power metal band to go with our Visigoth records, so that is sweet. It's a shame the majesty of this record was not portrayed by the recording of it. Maybe they can do something, re-release it in a year or two. That'd be cool. I would also buy that. Ultimately, at the end of the day, not to dwell on that, I do feel like they've tweaked their sound a little bit that will make them appeal to a broader audience of metal fans, but that tweak will make power metal fans happy. It's a weird fine line to walk, but I think they really managed to do it. So great job, guys. I'm going to give it 4 out of 5 historical skulls. What does that mean? That's for an editor to find out and figure out and display on the screen. You're seeing the results of their work now. Did they nail it? Let me know in the comments below. But we ultimately come to shoutouts, and I need to blast these shoutouts out because that red battery light has been flashing for most of this review. Have I been talking fast? It's because I'm running out of battery. Okay, the two albums I want to talk about this week in the shoutouts are Rebel Wizards, Magical Mystical Indifference on Prosthetic Records. This is not a sponsored Prosthetic Records review. They just happen to release two really sweet records back to back. This is a weird project by an Australian guy. It's hard to, I mean, you got to listen to it. It's weird, it's cool, I've been enjoying it a lot. And then also, we have Japanese power metal. It's still difficult to acquire like most Japanese music, but it's on the Season of Mist web store, so you can buy the CD without having to use Google Translate to figure out what the hell all those Japanese characters mean. Ha! So, Satanica's Resurrection of Devil's Spirit on Ironshard Records is coming out. It's fun, it's great, and hey, we've got to be able to get Japanese music however we can, and if that's, you know, mail ordering from a web store that's in English, then that's, hey, most of the hill is climbed for us. Hey, thanks for coming out. I've mentioned I like power metal a lot on the channel, but I don't find a lot of it that I like, so if you know some smaller, don't say, hey, this massive touring European headliner, you should listen to them. If you know some smaller, cool power metal bands that I might have missed over the years, leave them in the comments below. Maybe we can talk about power metal. Wow, it's a new day on Banger. And to celebrate that new day, hey, why don't you like, comment, subscribe, and sign up for our Patreon and follow me at twitch.tv/metalcomedy. Suckers! See you later.